Hello everyone, welcome to another Fallout 76 video, and let's talk about Bethesda's decision on disable the survival mode. Is it bad? Is it good? Let's check it out. A few days ago, Bethesda has announced that one of the upcoming updates will be about survival mode, and they're going to disable it. Yes, survival is going to be a goner very soon, starting on October 1st, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, especially because we have other options. If you think about it, you can still PvP in Adventure if you enable it, and other people have it enabled as well, and via Nuclear Winter mode, which is basically a battle royale mode where you can fight anyone else in your match. So why is survival mode going down exactly? There are several reasons for this, and it doesn't really surprise me. Actually, it wouldn't surprise you either. It's something that is long expected. If you play survival, or if you have played in the last couple of months, you probably realize that the activity there is very low. At most, you will probably find 1 or 2 servers live at any time, at any point in the day, and that gives you a clear hint that things are not working so fine for this mode. Well, it is how it is. You can change what the community likes, so it is normal that Bethesda is deciding to take it down, because no one really wants to play survival, and it's probably costly for them to keep the servers up with different rules than Adventure, so it's totally understandable that they no longer want to keep it up and spend resources and time, effort and so on in developing this mode that is not bringing anything valuable for them and for us players of Fallout 76. So let's get into more details. Why is survival mode not thriving? Why is it going down? Let's check it out. By far, this is the most important reason why survival is going down. No one really wants to play in this mode, and there are several reasons for it. First of all, you will lose a lot of things when you die. That's not appealing to anyone. And secondly, the fast travel system is very limited. You can only fast travel to train stations or other players' camps. And when you die, it is a complete hassle to get back to it. You have to walk a lot. If you die in the process, then you have to do it all again, and so on. Also, the leaderboards are quite useless. They are there to show off and to boost your ego, basically. They have changed it a little bit. Before, we had the top 3 displaying in the map. You could track people easily that way, at least the top 3. Now it's called tests. For a while it is like that. It is empty, but you can still access the other tabs to see who has earned the most experience, who has killed the most players, and so on. Regardless of that, survival is empty, and you will normally have a hard time finding people. That's probably why so many are making traps to lure the few people who dare to log into survival. All in all, survival servers are completely empty. You will normally find 10 people on them, sometimes less. And if you wish to server jump for the weekly challenge, for example, it is impossible, at least in Europe, because there is usually only 1 server up. Sometimes there are 2. That would be really great, but normally there is just 1 server. And that pretty much indicates how bad things have been. It has been like this for months, pretty much since I have been covering weekly challenges, so that's a long time ago, probably 3, 4, even 5 months, I don't know anymore. But this indicates the state of survival and how things really need to change. One of the main reasons why people don't want to log in survival is the damage rules and how they are really unbalanced and sometimes confusing. I mean, they have changed it over and over again, but the results are not really noticeable. You can still get 1-2 shot And that's not really fair or challenging in any way. I mean, you don't even have a chance to fight back most of the times. It's basically all about how to lure people, and whoever gets to shoot first wins. That's basically the rule in survival. There is nothing much you can do against, well, end game gear and being spotted first. In general, if you get to shoot first, you will kill your enemy and you will come out victorious. Keep in mind that I have a full wielding set, 2-3 stars. I have 3D of defense, and still people can easily kill me without me having a chance, really. I die in a second, and that's it. You lose lots of 8 items. At least now you don't lose as many caps. I still remember when you used to lose 100 to 300 caps per death. Now it's very, very low. I'm losing 12, I think. That's nothing compared to what it used to be, but still, where is the challenge here? Fighting other players in survival mode is just boring. It's not fun. It's very, very unfair, and that's one of the reasons I think it should go down, because it is there just for griefers, basically. People who want to lure others to get the chance to shoot first, kill them, take their 8 items, junk, a few caps, and repeat. No wonder the servers are dead and no one wants to play survival. I don't either. Another reason why players want to stay away from survival mode is the amount of 8 items that you lose. I mean, junk is not a real problem since you also drop it in adventure, and honestly you can easily store your junk in your storage, but when it comes to 8 items you need to have them with you, because if you're hungry or thirsty you need to consume them on the moment. It's the same for 8 items, team packs, radaways, buffs. You need to have them with you in order to use them. And when you get killed in survival, doesn't matter if you die to NPCs or to other players, you will lose a huge amount of 8 items. And that's really bothersome, especially if you disconnect or if you don't manage to get back to your junk pile, because, you know, the fast travel system is very difficult, let's call it here. So that's one of the main reasons I think people don't want to play this mode, because you will lose a lot of things here if you die. It is a very unforgiving world, and the rewards you get out of it are basically none. So why the hell should you come to survival mode? The main advantage to play in survival mode is the 20% extra XP bonus that you get from anything you do, event rewards, killing mobs, naturally, anything that awards you experience will be 20% more in survival, and that's amazing. But then again, the risks are so high that it's hardly worth it. If you die, you will lose so many things, also players can kill you, and it is just a hassle, really. So I don't think the 20% experience bonus has been enough to incite players to come here and explore, experience this new world with a different set of rules. I mean, I have played survival a few times when I wanted to get more experience, but I was very cautious. I was not enjoying the game that much because I was always afraid to die or to get spotted by another player, and then I will lose a lot of things that I didn't want to lose, but I didn't have space to store them either. So it is a little complicated and even dividing. Honestly, I don't think anyone would willingly come to survival to play for experience, because the 20% experience bonus is just not worth the risks that you take here. And that's enough to not want to come here, in my opinion. Anyway, moving on from the big issues that have been plaguing survival, I think that in general, the Fallout 76 community is not so much into PvP. We all enjoy casual playing, adventure, story mode, role-playing, and so on. I don't think PvP has ever been a huge concern for the community. I mean, if it is there, okay, it is there, it is an option. It's always great to have some more diversity into the game, but it's not a priority. It's not something that the majority of the people wanted. So I never really understood why Bethesda decided to implement survival mode, because from what I see everywhere over Reddit, forums, even in my Discord, people don't really show interest in PvP. Even for Nuclear Winter, it is very difficult to gather a team together. People simply don't enjoy killing other players, and that's totally fine. Just Bethesda should have done their homework better and studied the audience before releasing survival mode, because I'm pretty sure if they did a survey, a proper one, they would come to the conclusion that they are coming now. People were not really interested in PvP. And, well, at least now they are realizing this and they are finally taking survival mode down. I think that by now survival mode equals a weekly challenge for most people who play Fallout 76. At least for me, the only reason that made me log in into survival was to do the weekly challenge for the 3 stars legendary weapon that would be sometimes great, sometimes decent, sometimes bad, but overall it is a free 3 stars legendary weapon and you can still get script for it even if you don't want to use it. So I would do it for the guide to show you guys and for myself as well. And that was the only reason that made me come to survival. And I know a lot of people who share the same thought. They would come here just to do the weekly challenge and then they wouldn't touch it until the next weekly challenge resets. So yeah, it defies the entire purpose of survival, which is PvP, not really to do weekly challenges. At least that's not what Bethesda intended from the start. Finally, there is one more reason why survival is going down, and that's because we have plenty of alternatives for PvP right now. We have Nuclear Winter, which is a battle royale mode dedicated to PvP. You can fight up to 52 players, I think, in one single match. That's plenty of action for you if you really want to PvP. Also in adventure mode, you can go ahead, disable pacifist mode and try to look for other players who have pacifist mode off as well. Then you can challenge them to fight you and see who's the strongest one. But overall, we have 2 options for PvP, so it doesn't really justify to have one single server mode just for PvP, especially when it is empty and most people don't show any interest in playing it. So go ahead, log into Nuclear Winter, launch nukes on other players, use your favorite weapon and kill as many players as you want. You have basically all the freedom in the world there to do as you please. And that's pretty much my opinion on the survival mode topic. It is going down for good in my opinion, but what do you guys and girls think? Do you think you're going to miss it, or maybe they're actually doing the right thing? I think they are. I mean, no one really played it to start with. It was kind of doomed from the start, as I mentioned before, and there are many other reasons. I mean, people just don't want to play it and they are wasting resources on a mode that in general people don't want to get involved or to play or to get dragged into it with the weekly challenges, for example. And it is not fun to be forced to PvP just to get something that you want, like the legendary weapons. Also, we have other PvP modes. If you want to, well, engage other players, you can go to Nuclear Winter or try your luck in adventure if people are not with pacifist enabled. It can be tricky, but it can work, of course. So the options are there, and survival is just a mode that is there for a while. You get extra experience, you can fast travel, it has a different set of rules, but in general, when you die, it is extremely annoying. You lose all your junk as usual and part of your aid items. You also lose cabs if you die to other players, and it's a hassle to get your junk or items back because the fast travel is very limited to train stations or your camp, and I don't think people liked it at all. I personally played it quite a bit when the mode came out, but I started to realize that the value that you get out of it is very little, so it's mostly a mode for fun if you like to PvP. But then again, the damage rules are a bit, you know, weird. They become much better over time, because before you could easily hit other people with explosive and bloodied builds. Now it is a bit better, you can't exactly one-hit people, but I think with the right build, especially with PvP damage, you can easily one-to-hit people, and that's not great. Once again, and maybe that's another reason why Bethesda is taking it down, because nothing really seems to work well there, and well, the feedback is pretty negative. People don't want to play the mode, they don't log in that mode, and that's visible. So this is my opinion, guys. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about survival mode going offline. We will probably never see it again. Well, I can say I will miss it. That's what I think and how I feel about it. I will see you guys very soon in the next video. I'm Marta Branco. Thank you everyone for all your support. If you're new to the channel, I do Fallout 76 videos, opinion, patch notes, guides, and so much more. Check out my other videos if you are interested. Also, feel free to subscribe below, and I have a Patreon page for anyone who would like to support me even further. The link is below as usual. Thank you again, guys, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Adios. Bye bye.